Have you guys ever heard of this little song called, what was it called? Master of Puppets? I saw it. It was on Stranger Things recently. I've never heard of this band Metallica, and it's a pretty cool song. I went on Spotify, and I'm now following Metallica. Turns out this song came out in 1986. How crazy. That's the reaction a lot of people have had lately. To me, it's so weird that Master of Puppets, a song I've been listening to my entire life, is being, so pumped up now. Spotify, it's on like their top list. It's on the Billboard top list. This song is 35 years old. It came out the year I was born. I don't know. It's just so funny to me that I go on Instagram and I start scrolling, and the days after Stranger Things had aired that song, everybody's playing Master of Puppets. Even the content creators are all putting out how to play Master of Puppets videos. It's a weird thing for everybody to be discovering something 35 years after it was recorded and released to the public. To me, this is one of the greatest metal songs of all time. And for people just to be discovering it now is great, because Metallica, they're one of the biggest bands in the world. I'm happy they're getting their credit, and it's not for a song called Enter Sandman for once. But it just feels so weird that the metal world is being pushed into the mainstream in front of people. I saw leather jackets and denim jeans and denim jackets and white shoes and all the stuff that Metallica and all the 80s metal heads all loved. That stuff is being pushed again. And it's all because of Stranger Things. The younger generation's finally learning about it. And I actually do think it's pretty cool that people are starting to know these songs. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and she heard the song and thought it was cool. She's heard the song a million times. I played it for her a million times. She used to sing it when she was younger in the car. And I don't think she recognized it, from the car when she heard it on Stranger Things. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys think it's cool that Stranger Things has brought Metallica back to the mainstream with Master of Puppets? Of course, the other angle to take here is the side that people get upset or angry that the thing they love is now being pushed into mainstream. Especially metalheads, they're really sensitive about that stuff. But you got to think of it from the viewpoint of Metallica. They're struggling artists and they need some support and money. I'm just kidding, of course. They're one of the biggest metal bands in the world. They don't need it. It's arguable they're bigger than Stranger Things, but it's a completely new audience. So this younger, teenagers and people who have never been introduced to metal finally get a chance to be exposed to this kind of music, because they don't really play Metallica's older hits on the radio very often. You do hear them, I'm starting to hear them more and more lately, the last few years, but in the 90s, I never heard Master of Puppets on the radio, so it is cool that they're getting a push back into the mainstream. But I can't believe the song had never reached Billboard status before. It was never a top 10 song. I think it was a top 10 in Spotify. Like, that is unbelievable, and that is so cool. But all these bandwagon jumpers, all the content creators out there who are now putting out Master of Puppets covers and Master of Puppets videos. A couple years back, I did a thing called Master of Puppets Month, where I covered the entire album from front to back, every single song, full covers, and I got people to collab with me on every song, playing drums, bass, all the guitar parts, vocals, and it was super fun. I think it was around 2018, 2019 over on Instagram. I think most of the covers are up here on this channel somewhere, or on the Guitar Guts main channel. At the time, most people didn't know what Master of Puppets was. They didn't care about it, the mainstream people. But it's so funny. I thought about reposting some of my older Master of Puppets content. I even thought about doing a new cover of it, but I don't know why. I just didn't want to try to capitalize on this new resurgence of the song. Is that a dumb move? Probably would have got a bunch of views if I did that, but I don't know. I feel like it's exploitative. And I don't know, I feel like it's not my style to jump on trends like that. Although I am making a video about it right now, so that kind of cancels out that point, doesn't it? The same kind of thing happened for Kate Bush. Kate Bush is somebody I found out about a couple years ago, actually, because she has some other great songs. I didn't know this Running Uphill song, but it's an awesome song too. And it's so funny that those two songs, Master of Puppets and Running Uphill, are both top songs now on Billboard, and Spotify, and all the lists of the most listened to songs. It's 2022, and these songs are finally making it to the top of the music billboards, or whatever, the music lists. I got the Master of Puppets album around 1996, and it's so funny because it had been around for 10 years. I was 10 years old, and at the time, it felt old. It felt so old, but to think it was only 10 years old, but I don't know, it's been funny and been a little weird to see people dressing up as metal, fans and wearing leather jackets when, I have a leather jacket, of course, and black denim jeans and boots and all that stuff. And when I go to concerts, of course, I throw that stuff on when I go to a metal show. But it's kind of funny. I don't know. Are you welcoming the new fans, or do you say, like, guys, this is our music? Like, stop trying to jump on the trend. Stop making it trendy. When you see, like, the Kardashians were wearing Slayer shirts, and then members of Slayer started wearing, like, Kill the Kardashian shirts. I've never been a supporter of, or a hater, I should say, of people wearing bands that they don't necessarily listen to. Like, if the Kardashians want to wear Slayer shirts, or, like, there's all these hot girls out there wearing Metallica shirts or whatever, but they don't listen to the band, like, I have no problem with that. They bought these shirts, they're supporting the band, they're bringing a little bit of awareness to the band, and let's be honest, these shirts are super cool. Before I really listened to Iron Maiden, I would always see the shirts and thought they were so cool. Same thing with Misfits, I saw the big skull shirts, I thought they were super cool. Never owned one, but I always saw them and thought it was so cool. Then when I finally started listening to the Misfits, I was like, what is this? It's like, not my style of music. It sounds like it was recorded in a bedroom, and it's 3-chord rock, a lot of it, so not my style. But when I would see Metallica wearing these shirts, I always thought, like, ooh, that must be something I would like. But just as fashion or style goes, I think that the metal clothes in mainstream, I think it's super cool. I actually like seeing Slayer and Metallica and Iron Maiden and all these bands that have really cool artwork on the shirts. I like seeing that out in the mainstream, So I personally don't have a problem with that. I think it looks good on people. It's kind of nice to know that the new generation is being introduced to metal once again, because when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of metalheads around. In my elementary school, I was the only person who knew who Metallica was. I was the only person who was really into music, especially guitar-driven music. People like pop music. Nobody else really played any instruments in my elementary school. There was one guitar player kid, and me and him became best friends. I went over there. His dad was a metalhead. Taught me about Jackson guitars and Floyd Roses and Marshalls and pedals and all this stuff. So I'm glad that people are being exposed to this again, and the younger generation has a chance to discover all the stuff that I discovered when I was a kid. And I hope it blows them up. I hope it makes them even bigger than ever. I mean, Metallica is already one of the biggest metal bands, if not the biggest metal band of all time. But to have it live on and be reintroduced to the new generation, I'm in huge support of that. So I'm also a huge fan of Stranger Things. I think that show's awesome. Do you guys watch Stranger Things? Do you guys support Master of Puppets being so popular again? What do you think about all the content creators jumping on the bandwagon and making how to play Master of Puppets videos and doing their covers of Master of Puppets, when a lot of us have been doing it for years without any real credit from anybody outside the metal community? Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this stuff.